What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules?
Nice to meet you.
And imagine a utopia.
So today we're going to talk about autonomous agents for product people, product teams like you. Just had a few quick questions. Who's using an LLM every single day? Who is addicted and cannot live without it anymore? Oh, okay, you're not there yet. And who has an autonomous agent working for them proactively? Oh, nice. They're at the front, they're the best students. Great. So today we're going to dive deeper into what an autonomous agent is and how to build one or get one for your product team. So the question is, what would you do if you had a product team member that never sleeps, that is everywhere working for you all the time? I'm going to start with a quick history of how we got there. At the very beginning of this LLM era, where many of us were playing with GPT-2. And GPT-2 was non-contextual. You took the training of the model, all the static knowledge we managed to get, and you took a snapshot of it in time. Millions of books, Wikipedia pages, the web, all our collective knowledge, all the collective knowledge we could capture was embedded into a model. That was static. The knowledge was frozen in time, and all you could do is give a prompt and get one answer. That was it. There was no context between interactions, no chat, so you just get one answer. It used to look like this. You just ask the question here, you get the answer, and it was very deterministic. If you had no temperature, if the temperature was set to 0, which is an equivalent of randomness, and these are a few other parameters we don't need to dive deeper, you would always get the same answer. And then we added some more probabilistic aspects to make it more human-like. The revolution that came after was ChatGPT. It was a multi-turn conversation, and it was context-aware. What you said before was kept into the context window. It was kept in memory. So you had the session, and you still have it today. You have a session, you describe who you are, what you want to do, what you want to achieve, give some context about what's going on, and the LM is going to keep it, and it's going to elaborate on it. But it's still reactive. You need to open to a ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini. You need to ask a question or say something, and it's going to reply to you. And that's it. Now it has also function calling. It can browse the web, it can do research, it can go get documents. So it was a huge leap, and this is the revolution that really made LLMs mainstream. Now we're entering a new era, the autonomous, proactive intelligence. And this is a huge leap that is upcoming. March 2025 probably will be a pivotal year for this new era. You have proactive agents with a persistent memory. They know everything about you. They know everything about your company. They know everything about what you're currently working on. They're deeply integrated with your tools. They're integrated with your Confluence, your Jira, your Slack, your meetings, your analytics. They're connected to everything. And they're going to start working autonomously 24/7 for you and proactively come to you whenever they need you or whenever they want to give you an insight. This is the rise of the human-like collaborator. And I'm going to give you a quick analogy of how we came up with such systems and how it resembles how we humans think and execute our cognitive functions. For a program, you have cron jobs. So you say, every 2 minutes, ChatGPT, I want you to go to this website, browse it, and tell me if there's anything new. This is a cron job. You can set it to every 5 minutes, every 5 hours, every 5 days. It's a program that's going to execute your LLM for you. It's very basic, but already very powerful. It's like having a ChatGPT running on a clock Even ChatGPT has it today. And then you have events listener. It's like our senses as humans. It's going to listen to whatever is changing in your app, in your organization. And then you have webhooks. It's connected to the outside world, and it's reflex. Oh, there's something new there. I'm going to react to it. Oh, there is a new update. There is a new GitHub pull request and your Jira ticket. I'm going to react because this is important for me. I was programmed to react to this. Very much like us. If we hear a bell, we're all going to look around and say, what is this sound? And then we all have functions. We have basic actions. We have habits. We have skills. There are things we can do. An LLM can go browse the web. There are many things we can do as well. And this is very much an analogy of like all the tools we use every day. And then at night, we also process. We also think. We have our subconscious mind always thinking and processing information. This is batch processing. This is when at night you have the LLM doing many tasks, when it's cheaper and when it has the time to do them without being into the live mode. The cognitive processing aspect is brought to you by the LLM. It has thinking power. It has also knowledge, lots of knowledge. And it really resembles how we actually store knowledge, because the LLM is a representation of everything, all the knowledge we collected in history. So it's all embedded into the system. We also have like habits that are very deterministic. When I walk, I don't think. When I speak, I don't try to remember what the word means. It's all habits. Same for an LLM, an AI system, an AI collaborator. You don't really need to have inference all the time. You don't really need the LLM to think all the time. You can program some habits, like whenever I ask you for a PRD, I just don't want to think. When there is a PRD, I want to execute this workflow to get my PRDs in Confluence. It has memory, and it has reflexes. It also has an interface. We have interface. We talk. We have voice. The LLM also has a front end and UX. It has the chat, but also the ability to send you notifications in Slack. It has a feed to tell you what's going on. So it really much resembles who we are. But beyond just the LLM and beyond just LLM agents, there is a way to make things a lot smarter. It's by building automations that are a symbiotic system between automation, traditional automations, and AI agents. We call them AI workflows. So classic automation is Zapier, Make, Nighthand. You know these guys. You just say step 1, step 2, step 3, you do this and that. It's not super flexible. It's very reliable. And you cannot really build huge ones because it becomes overly complex. And then you have AI agents. You have these frameworks where you tell your agent, hey, I want you to browse the web and go get this information for me. It's going to do it autonomously and find information and get back to me, but it's going to crash. It's going to make mistakes. It's going to miss some steps and not remember everything. So to make all this work together, you need to build AI workflows. You need to have step functions that are going to execute your LLM with deterministic code. Deterministic code is the traditional programming as opposed to probabilistic LLMs that you don't really control. And when you bridge these together, automation and AI agents, you get a flexible hybrid system that can take you much further than just an LLM agent and just automation. Why do you win with workflows, AI workflows, versus agents and versus automation? It's a lot more flexible, and you control everything. You can observe each step, and these steps that are made by LLMs, you can manage the prompt, you can manage the output, and you can control all the aspects of this because it's, at the end of the day, programmatic. If it crashes, you can find the error and fix it. And when the system becomes sophisticated enough, it can even self-heal. It can correct itself. When an LLM doesn't know what to do, the only thing you can do is restart and restart again. It crashes. It's not giving you the right answer. It's painful. But when you have an observable system where you have like multiple nodes of programmatic LLMs being called one after each other, you can observe the whole thing and build a human-like system. How do you build an AI autonomous agent system? There are 6 building blocks. You need to have LLMs, so you're going to pick a mix and match. You're going to get some OpenAI, you're going to get some Claude, some Gemini, some Llama, some fine-tuned model based on your data, and also some private API models like GPT-4, and maybe also your own model. It's really finding the right mix to be able to make the most of the advantages of each. Some models have a very high context window, some models are very cheap, some models are very fast, some models are very deep. You want them all. You don't just want one model to build your autonomous AI system. You also need an agent framework to be able to manage these LLMs to work in the background. You need a very strong backend and data pipelines to retrieve all the data with vector databases, but also with traditional databases. You need step functions. That's where the logic is. First, you get this information. First, you go on Slack. Then you read my conversations. And then from my conversation, you extract everything we achieved in the past week. And then you write a report for me. These are step functions to control what the different steps will be. You need also UX for it. You need to be able to chat with it, but you also need to give it a space to reach out to you. Will it be a Slack message? Will it be an email? Will it be a feed? Will it be a new message, in a chat-like message? How is your AI collaborators going to reach out to you? So how do you build it? Do you want to code it, or do you want to use a no-code platform? How are you guys going to build your AI autonomous collaborators? Are you going to use Nighten or Zapier or Make? Or are you going to build it with code? It's a trade-off, obviously. You cannot do much with the no-code platforms, but you can prototype very fast. It doesn't scale well. If it becomes too complex, it's going to be very overwhelming for you to manage. And it's going to also crash a lot if you reach a certain amount of information. And you really won't be able to fix it easily. And if you have several workflows to maintain at a large company, it's really not going to make it. So you would like to have code, a solid backend custom for this with workflow orchestration that you can fully customize, that is observable, that's going to fix itself, that's going to handle errors, retry, roll back, something a lot more sophisticated and robust. If you really want a solid, production-ready AI collaborator, you need to have it built in code. This is an example of a Nighten workflow to get your AI collaborator to monitor what competitors are doing. This is very painful to build. This is very painful to manage. It doesn't scale. So we don't recommend it. But if you want to build a quick prototype, try something, then you still have this option. It makes sense to get started. It makes sense for personal project. It makes sense for prototypes. What are the key data sources? So your LLM also needs to get data from you guys, right? What are you going to feed it? For me, an AI collaborator is like onboarding a human. It's like onboarding a new colleague. So I need to give it access to everything it needs to work with me. I want it to be on Slack. I want it to be able to follow everything we say. I want it to be able to join our meetings. I want it to be able to read all our documentation. Obviously, if it works in the product team, you also want your AI collaborator to be able to read your Jira tickets and know what's going on. You also want it to know what's going on GitHub. You also want to give it access to the web and other APIs. So if you want a powerful AI collaborator, you really need to give it access to as much APIs, integrations, and internal data as you can. Of course, it has to be secure. It has to be well built. But once this is done right, you get a tremendously powerful agent that can manage all these different data sources to get really high-quality work done for you. How do you get started? What do you want to do now first when you realize you need an AI collaborator? Maybe you need to re-evaluate how you guys work, understand what tasks are done by humans that could be actually done by AI. Maybe you want to map them step by step, which is not easy. You also want to identify tasks that don't make sense for humans anymore. You don't want like, people to read all your sales calls, all your interviews. You don't need that anymore. You don't need to label things like you used to do in product board, for example. It doesn't make sense anymore. It's not work humans want to do. It's not work that is interesting for humans. So you really want to identify those tasks pretty fast. I advise to start very simple and iterate, find the low-hanging fruit, find a few things that you think that should be done by an AI today, and start implementing against those. And of course, you will realize each workflow needs to be optimized. Sometimes you will have performance issues, sometimes it will be too costly, sometimes it will make mistakes, sometimes the steps won't be in the right order. But as you optimize, you will start building this internal logic, this internal nervous system, this internal brain that works for you all the time, and that becomes more and more efficient. Should you build it, or should you buy an AI collaborator? That's also a big question. Building it is expensive. You need AI engineers. You need very strong actual back-end engineers. You need to be able to process all the data, manage it well, make sure it's well-structured, make sure you manage to have like big data pipelines, to manage very large queues. This is pretty demanding. If you are already very much AI savvy and native, you could do it in 3 months, but the most realistic timeline is more like 12 to 18 months if you want to get something really robust. And when you get started, you won't have those pre-built workflows for your product function. You'll have to think about it. What should we build? How? When? What should we prioritize? And managing it, maintaining it will be tough. Buying it, so here I'm taking the example of our solution Revo, our AI collaborator. It already comes with lots of workflows out of the box that we built with many of our clients. The cost is a lot lower. It's ready in weeks. It's fully managed by us. And we auto-optimize it with your feedback. So you just talk to Revo like you would talk to a human, and it improves over time and works for you like a really good hire. Here's an example. I love this example because it shows like a new way and a new best practice to interact with an AI collaborator. Internally, Revo joins all our calls. Every meeting we do, we have Revo with us. It has become a habit. If Revo is not in my meeting, I will feel that the room is empty and I'm talking in vain because it's not going to be captured. It's not going to be helping me. It's not going to remember. I won't be able to go ask anything to Revo anymore after that because it was not here. I'm addicted to it. And seriously cannot, if I don't have my Revo in a call, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what it's not, and I'm going to bring it back. Everyone in our team is in the same situation right now. Because once you have this, you get an AI collaborator that's going to auto-assign all the tasks we mentioned in the call. It's going to write a log of every decision we made, so we can come back 3 months, 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, and say, why did we decide this at the time? Who decided this? Why? What was the reasoning behind it? I can ask Revo about this. It's going to suggest after my meeting, hey guys, did you actually think about this option? You didn't mention it. Maybe you should consider it. It's going to verify the alignment of what we do with our OKRs and our goals. One of the first things we put in Revo's memory is your OKRs, because we want it to be aligned with your success. So Revo always has the OKRs in mind when interacting with you. It's also going to coach us on, hey guys, this meeting was not well managed, or because you forgot key items in the agenda, and it's really not aligned with what you guys were planning to do. It's going to come up to us with coaching and proactive insights to become better. This is like already 6 workflows you can stack on top of each other from one source. The data source is a meeting, and the workflows are all run in parallel. So from one meeting, I can have 6 outcomes from 6 different workflows. This is how we humans work. We just do one thing at a time. We sequentialize subconsciously so many things. Revo is the same. And in the near future, you'll have probably hundreds, if not thousands, autonomous workflows working for your company, becoming like the nervous system of the brain of your organization. And the question is, are you ready to evolve? Are you ready to build those workflows? Are you ready to have these AI collaborators working for you and augmenting everyone in your organization? I would say that we should all be looking at this very closely because this is going to change everything. Happy to chat, happy to tell you more, and of course, happy to answer your questions.